Okay, so let's just get right into it. For a long time now, designers have kind of clung to their methodologies like comfort blankets. You know the drill. We run workshops, we plaster walls with Post-it notes, we live and die by the frameworks. But let's be real for a second. AI is completely changing the game. It can spit out dozens, even hundreds of designs in the time it takes us to make coffee. And suddenly, our old processes feel kind of slow. This is where we have to make a huge shift, away from just doing the work and toward really thinking about the work.
Just look at this. On one side, you've got the classic human designer's toolkit, all the stuff we know and love. Workshops, frameworks, our precious Post-its. Then on the other side, you have the AI designer. And it's an absolute beast at instant iteration, at synthesizing massive amounts of data, and at spotting patterns way faster than any human ever could. AI is basically mastering the how of design. And this right here, this comparison, it gets to the absolute heart of the challenge. If a machine can follow the recipe better and faster than we can, what's our actual value?
And that's exactly what this is all about. The path forward isn't some new, shiny method or a better framework. Nope, it's a totally different mindset. It's about shifting our focus from the process, from the how, to the purpose, the meaning, the why.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's what every creative professional is wrestling with right now. When the pure act of making something becomes automated, what's our role? Where do we even fit in anymore? And that question can feel pretty scary, but the answer is actually incredibly empowering.
And here's the answer, plain and simple. What's left for us is the why and the what for. It's the strategic thinking, the ethical judgment, the deep human insight. These are the things that a smart algorithm just can't replicate. The core of design has to guide the shell. Philosophy isn't some dusty academic luxury anymore. It's our new competitive advantage. It's our superpower.
So great, but how do we actually start thinking this way? Well, we can borrow from some of the greatest minds in history. We're going to look at 5 philosophers who give us this amazing mindset toolkit for designing in the age of AI. And don't think of these as history lessons. Think of them as super practical guides for the work you're doing today.
First up, we've got John Dewey, the American pragmatist. His whole big idea was that we don't really learn by just sitting around thinking about stuff. We learn by doing, by getting our hands dirty, confronting uncertainty, and figuring things out as we go. Real knowledge comes from being right in the thick of it.
Okay, now what's so cool here is how AI basically puts Dewey's philosophy on steroids. In the old days, experience and action meant spending weeks, maybe months on a single prototype. That was our one big shot at learning something. But now we can generate 100 different prototypes in a minute. The action part is now generation. Seriously, think about it. Every single prompt you write isn't just you asking for a picture. It's a tiny little experiment. It's a way of thinking and learning through really, really fast creation.
All right, let's bring in our next thinker, Herbert Simon. He had this beautifully simple definition of design. It's all about changing existing situations into preferred ones. And for him, the designer wasn't just a problem solver, they were a problem framer, the person who actually defines what the problem is to begin with.
And this idea connects perfectly to what might be the most important new skill for designers, prompting. See, an AI is an incredible problem-solving machine, but it's totally literal. It can't define the problem on its own. That's our job. The way we frame a prompt, the exact words we choose, the constraints we give it, the context we provide, that is the modern version of what Simon was talking about. We're not just telling the AI what to make, we're guiding it toward a better solution by framing the right question.
Next up is Maurice Merleau-Ponty. His philosophy reminds us of something so fundamental it's easy to forget. We are not just brains in a jar. We understand the entire world through our physical, embodied experience. An AI doesn't have a body. It might know the dictionary definition of the word heavy, but it has no idea what it actually feels like to lift a heavy box.
And this is where our human advantage is just completely undeniable. While AI is busy processing abstract data, just ones and zeros, our job is to read the human context. We get the subtle cultural cues, the sensory details of an experience, the vibe in a room, all the stuff that data will always miss. Our lived physical experience lets us truly empathize in a way an algorithm never ever will.
Our fourth thinker is Donald Schoen, and he gave us this awesome idea of the reflective practitioner. He argued that the very best professionals don't just blindly follow a plan. No, they think on their feet, they improvise, and they learn while they're creating. Kind of like a great jazz musician who's responding to the rest of the band in real time.
This insight perfectly nails the designer's new role. The AI is the maker. It can generate stuff endlessly.
Our job is to become the editor. We do that reflection in action thing by looking at what the AI spits out and asking the tough questions. Does this actually align with our values? Is this truly serving the user? Is this, good? We provide that critical human reflection that the machine just doesn't have.
And finally, let's talk about Richard Rhodey. He really encouraged us to think about ideas not as these final, absolute truths, but more like tools that we use in an ongoing conversation. For him, the goal isn't to find the one correct answer, but just to keep the conversation moving forward in productive and interesting ways. In the past, our job was often to facilitate conversations between people, right? Between stakeholders. But now, there's this powerful new voice in the room, the AI. So our job evolves. We have to facilitate the dialogue between the AI, our team, and our clients. AI can be a brilliant participant in that conversation, but it can't lead it. It can't build consensus. At the end of the day, the responsibility for the final decision is still profoundly, and I mean profoundly, human.
Okay, so we've looked at all these big ideas and mindsets. That's great. But how do we actually put this stuff into practice, every single day? Let's break it down into a simple playbook.
Here are 4 habits you can start building right now. First, always ask, why are we really doing this before you even think about jumping into how are we going to do it? That keeps your work grounded in a real purpose. Second, learn to love uncertainty. See it not as some problem you have to crush, but as the creative fuel where the really good stuff happens. Third, have the guts to question the brief. Your job isn't just to execute on an order, it's to reframe the problem if you think it's the wrong one. And finally, number 4, actively push conversations away from just metrics and KPIs and toward the ethics and the real-world impact of your work. This is where your human judgment is absolutely priceless.
You see, when you start working this way, it's not just about surviving in the age of AI. It actually redefines your entire role into something way more powerful and essential. Which brings us to our last, and I think most important point, your future as an architect of meaning.
Let's be crystal clear about this. Your job is not to become some glorified AI operator who just knows how to type the right prompts into a machine. No, your job is to be an architect of meaning. You are the one who uses this incredible new tool to shape experiences, to guide crucial decisions, and to create value that is deeply, truly human-centered.
And so that leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about. The machine can create. It can generate infinite options. It can make visuals, write code, produce text, all on command. But it has no intent. It has no values. It has no purpose. So the real question for us as designers is no longer can we create it, but what should we create and why? That choice, well, that's still entirely up to you.